I'm obsessed with this design, and today we're breaking down Ford's latest masterclass in nostalgia, the 2026 Mustang FX. And before you roll your eyes and think to yourself, oh great, another retro cash grab, hold up.
Wait a minute.
Because Ford didn't just slap some white stripes on a car and call it vintage. They actually studied the design psychology of what made the Fox Body era so iconic, and then they applied those principles to create something that feels both totally fresh and authentically retro. We're talking about a design approach that goes way deeper than just make it look old. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to apply those same principles to your own design work, whether you're designing cars, logos, or even just picking a color palette for your next project car. Let's start with the star of the show, this Adriatic Blue metallic paint. Now, Ford's calling it Adriatic Blue, but let's be real, this is just straight up teal. And that's not an accident. See, teal wasn't just popular in the 80s, it was everywhere. Miami Vice, old computer screens, your mom's windbreaker. Teal was the color that screamed, the future is now, and there's actually a reason why it worked so well back then. Teal sits right between blue and green, which means it feels familiar, but also kind of weird at the same time. It's like your brain recognizes it, but can't quite place it, which makes it super memorable. Ford could have picked any blue or green, but teal just hits differently. It immediately makes you think of the 80s without feeling like a cosplay. And as a designer, I have to appreciate how Ford's marketing team is shooting this thing. They're not just using boring white backgrounds like every other car commercial. They went with this rich purple setup, and here's why this is genius. Purple and teal are opposites on the color wheel, which means that they make each other look way more intense when you put them together. It's the same trick movie posters use with orange and blue. Your eyes literally cannot look away. If you're following along in Photoshop, try this yourself. Take an image and apply a teal color overlay, then put it against a purple background with some white outlines. The contrast is absolutely magnetic. And speaking of the white, now let's talk about Ford's use of white accents, because this is where things get really clever. They're not just throwing white details everywhere randomly, they're being super strategic about it. Think about it like this. When you read a book, your eyes need breaks between the paragraphs, right? Same thing happens when you look at a car. Your brain wants little rest stops to help make sense of what it's seeing. Those white accents on the wheels, badges, the grille, they're like punctuation marks that help your eye move around the car smoothly, while also making the car easier and more pleasant to look at. They're basically solving two problems at once. So when you're working on your own designs or your next project car, try this trick. Take any color design and add small white details in key spots. You'll be amazed how it instantly makes everything look more polished and easier to understand. Now, if you follow this channel for any length of time, you know that I love to geek out on some wheels. And I have to pause on these wheels for a second because they're a perfect example of how to modernize a classic design without losing its soul. The original Fox Body turbofan wheels were iconic, but let's be honest, they were also pretty chunky by today's standards. So Ford basically took the idea, those spokes that fan out like a turbine and make the car look fast even when it's parked, and they cleaned it up for 2026. Just look at the difference. The new version has thinner, more refined spokes, but it still has that same whoosh feeling as the original. It's like when your favorite band does an acoustic version of their biggest hit. Same song, a little bit cleaner, more sophisticated. And those white wheels, super important. Dark wheels can look great on a car, make it look like it's floating, but white wheels keep everything connected and flowing together. Plus they bounce light around, which makes the whole car just look a little bit more alive. And the interior tells an even more interesting story about how nostalgia actually works in our brains. These plaid seat inserts aren't just random throwback stuff. They're actually messing with your brain in a really cool way. Even if you've never owned a Fox Body, your brain sees this plaid pattern and immediately goes, oh yeah, the 80s. It's like how hearing the first few notes of an 80s song instantly starts to take you back. But check this out. Ford didn't just copy the old plaid exactly. The original Fox Body seats were pretty wild, a little bit busy, which worked back then, but might feel overwhelming now. So they toned it down a little, made it more subtle, but kept just enough of the plaid vibe to trigger those good memories. This is actually genius. Sometimes you don't need to copy something perfectly to get the right feeling. Your brain fills in the blanks with the cool stuff that you remember about the 80s, even if this is actually way cleaner than the original ever was. Even the little GT badge with the teal border around it on the dashboard is placed perfectly. It sits right where you can see it while you're driving, so it's like a constant little reminder that you're in something special, but it's not distracting and in your face. And the way that Ford is marketing this thing with the photos and presentations are just as important as the car itself. If you're a designer, just take a quick note of how every single photo uses the same purple background. This isn't just because it looks pretty, it's actually a clever trick. Purple has always felt fancy and mysterious, but when you put it next to teal, something magical starts to happen. The colors make each other look way more intense and dramatic. The lighting is super important too. And if you're taking photos of your own car and you want to try this glow effect yourself, you can do it in Photoshop pretty easily. The trick is to not go overboard. Too much looks really fake, and too little just doesn't do anything. So what can we as car enthusiasts and designers steal from Ford's playbook on this one? One of the keys here is that you don't just want to copy old stuff, but you want to do a little bit of research, figure out what made it cool in the first place, and then update it for today. Ford didn't just slap Fox Body parts on a new car. They found the key things that made Fox Bodies feel special, like that teal color, plaid seats, and they made modern versions that still hit the same. Color combos aren't just about being pretty, they're about making people feel something. That teal and the purple combo is not random, it's designed to grab your attention in the marketing, and the teal and the white is also not random. That is very specific, makes the car just look clean. Those white accents aren't just decoration, they're like road signs that show people where to look. Using light and dark colors smartly to control how people see the car and how people can see your work. And sometimes less is more. You don't always need to copy something exactly to get the right vibe. Sometimes a cleaner, simpler version works even better because people's brains fill in the good stuff that they remember. So what's the big picture? Here's what's really brilliant about the Mustang FX. Ford didn't just make a retro car, they made a car that makes you feel the way Fox Bodies made people feel back in the day, but with all the good stuff that we expect from cars today. The original Fox Body 5.0 made maybe 225 horsepower. This thing cranks out 486, so Ford took all the cool vibes from the original and mixed it with the performance of the current version that people actually want. This is how you do throwback stuff right. You don't just copy what came before, but you capture what made it awesome and you bring that feeling into the present. So there you go. The Mustang FX isn't just a pretty car with some throwback touches. It's basically a masterclass in how to use colors, visual tricks, nostalgia to create something that feels both totally new and authentically retro at the same time. If you want to see more of these breakdowns like this, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Leave me a comment of what you think. And if you try any of these tricks on your own with your design or with your project cars, please drop a comment. I want to know what's going on. If you want to go deeper into automotive design and how to Photoshop your own cars, you can check out this video over here. And until then, I want you to keep creating, keep learning, and remember that good design isn't just about making things look cool. It's about making people feel something. God bless. I'll see you in the next video.